How do you paint paintings like this? You just have to get the techniques. Available right now in this Fine Art Techniques DVD triple pack from the artbytv website. Coming up, you'll see snippets from this DVD. We'll introduce you to the techniques as I work on the min practice boards. And like here, you'll see examples of what proper technique looks like in the finished painting. Why struggle? Here's a glimpse of the tools needed to get the thrill of painting satisfaction. The 12 techniques coming up can be broken into two main areas: empowering techniques and refining techniques. Empowering techniques are physical techniques, ways of mixing paint, ways of applying paint, which marry up with your creative need, with your creative power, with your creative energy, your excitement, your enthusiasm, and translate then to the canvas, holding all of that energy and enthusiasm there. That's an empowering technique. You're empowering the canvas with your creative energy. The refining techniques are different again. Refining techniques refine the energy that's there. When we empower a canvas, sometimes it's a rawness that happens, and sometimes we want that. If we don't, we need to refine the look of it. So breaking up the techniques into those two categories, refining technique and empowering technique, allow you better to understand what your painting needs. Now, the dagger technique is very simple. All I'm going to do is pick up some blue paint and some white paint so that your brush looks just like that, and then drive that paint into the web of the canvas, and as we do so we simply count 1, 2, 3 strokes and then wipe the brush. There's only a couple of things to remember with blending, and that is that you need a dry brush, which simply means that the brush is not affected by terps or medium. The next thing to remember is that because it's such a beautiful technique to use, it feels so lovely and it has a lovely effect, artists tend to use it far too often. Simply blend the paint surface together, bit by bit by bit. The painting knife is a very expressive painting tool. The name of the technique, called painting knife, means that we're referring to the use of the knife as a day one procedure, which means that we're applying paint onto a canvas which is unused. Now let's not confuse that with the use of the knife, as you'll see later on in other techniques. Just for fun, right now, let me show you with one stroke how I can pick up all the colours and feathers in a bird, let's say a parrot for instance. Have a look at this. There it goes, look at that, just one stroke. This is how I pick the paint up working at my normal painting speed. It shows you how very, very quick and effective the painting knife technique is. The whole secret, as you'll notice, is that I'm not spending any time at all trying to pre-mix the paint. Looking at it in slow motion now, you'll see that the paint remains unmixed. Even though we pick up blue and white and put the two together, the two colours remain separated not only on the palette but on the knife as well. Just to be sure, we add another colour now, a third colour, and picking it up, you'll see on the knife the paint is unmixed. All the different colours are there. We have the secret to our success. And we would choose to use the caress stroke in areas and at times in your painting of a subject where you are concerned with texture, because the caress stroke is all about texture. It allows you to create new texture or to maintain a certain type of texture. And you could see there the texture of this paint surface, how very important it is to maintain and work with texture in your paintings. Another value of the caress stroke is that it enables you to change and adjust colour as you require it. And that there is the caress stroke. And finally now, we're going to create texture again with the knife, but this time in a swirly pattern. Just watch how my arm moves, flowing in this direction here. Just applying it in loops like this. And with just a few strokes, the transparent glaze and the use of that texture, in the spirit of the ocean, we can see where the waves and the peaks and the swells and the troughs of the sea can begin to be developed. And of course, when you add the darks, you really can bring out that effect of a wave. All runny and washy like that. Now the trick to successful opaque glazing is that simple. You need plenty of medium to make the mix extremely runny. Now that's an entirely different mix from this one, where there's so much paint and very little medium that all it is one big blob of opaque colour. That won't work at all. We need this runny stuff over here. This is what it should look like. This cloudy mix going on top of the painting is an opaque glaze. You can see the underpainting through the paint that we've just put on. The creative knife technique. I look forward to seeing you a lot in this section of your tape, as the creative knife is undoubtedly the most inspiring, remarkable, unique and powerful creative tool that you can have in your creative armoury. We can just refine those and make them easier on the eye. The branch of a tree. Creating there a beautiful accent in your work. The scribble technique, harmonising the surface of your painting and giving the sky and this part of our practice board a golden glow.